This is a narration by D.F. Nicholson. The Universal One by Walter Russell. Prelude. The supreme service which man can render to evolving man is to answer for him, dynamically, the great heretofore unanswerable question concerning the one universal force which man calls God, or mind, or by other names. For long ages, man has impatiently awaited the knowledge which would tear away the veil from the invisible universe which lies beyond his perception, and bring it within the range of both his perception and his exact comprehension. Mathematical and measurable proof of the existence of but one mind, one force, and one substance would give to man absolute control over matter, the power to create, even as God creates, and within the same limitations. Man is omnipotent when he but knows his omnipotence. Until that day, he is but man. Voltaire said that man could never comprehend God, for man must be God to comprehend him. Man is God, and therefore God is within the comprehension of man. Man is mind. Man is matter. Mind and matter are one. God is mind. This is a universe of mind, a finite universe, limited as to cause, and to the effect of cause. A universe of limitations cannot be infinite. There is no infinite universe. A finite universe, in which the effects of cause are limited, must also be limited as to cause. So when that measurable cause is known, then can man comprehend and measure all effects. The effects of cause are complex and mystify man, but cause itself is simple. The universe is a multiplicity of changing effects of but one unchanging cause. All things are universal. Nothing is which is not universal. Nothing is of itself alone. Man and mind and all creating things are universal. No man can say, I alone am I. There is but one universe, one mind, one force, one substance. When man knows this in measurable exactness, then will he have no limitations within those which are universal. He will then know that all knowledge exists within man and is subject to his desire to recall it from within his inner mind. Knowledge is not acquired from without, but merely recollected from within. The recollection of knowledge from within is an electro-magnetic process of thinking mind, which is as exactly under man's control as is the generation of the same power to turn a wheel. Man must think in light. His thinking must be in terms of the electromagnetic periodicities which measure all motion, for of such is he himself, and nothing else. To know how to think in light from within is to open the doors of all knowledge. Omnipotence lies in perfect thinking. There is no power in this universe other than the energy of thinking mind. Thinking is the cause of motion, and the periodicities, or states of motion, caused by thinking mind are registered in light, which man calls matter. Matter is light. Nothing is which is not light. We are prone to think that this civilization of ours is an extremely advanced one. On the contrary, man of today is in an exceedingly primitive state of his evolution. He is a bearer of heavy burdens, sweating at heavy labors in the bowels of the earth, because of his pitiful ignorance of universal power, which awaits only his knowledge to render it available for his free use. Knowledge of the one thing will lift the yoke which man has placed on his own shoulders. This knowledge is herein written down in the language of a new dynamic science of new concepts which are measurable, which explain the heretofore unexplainable. Language is lacking in words to express new knowledge. Seemingly contradictory words must be used in the hope that the intent will be understood by taking all that is herein written and putting it together, rather than in trying to find comprehension through the analysis of a few inadequate words in isolated paragraphs. For all those questions which lie unanswered within the heart of man, there is a dynamic answer, such an answer as 2 and 2 make 4. Faith and theory regarding the universal one need have no place in the thinking of man. They are wanderings in the dark. All things are answerable in light. The universe is a tonal one, a dimensionless universe of light. All nature is a series of orderly tonal periodicities of the one force, assembled into the complex idea of thinking mind, and registered in light, or matter, or energy in interchanging potentials, all of which are variable, yet comprehensible and measurable states of motion of the one substance. All dimension is an illusion and an appearance due to rising potential, which must disappear into its inevitable sequence of lowering potential, and again appear in endless cycles of appearance, disappearance, and reappearance. Ecstatic man is he who can think in those high octaves of the inner mind, which has been termed spirit. Ecstatic man is inspired man of universal genius, of inner thinking. Inspired man is he to come whose thinking will be from within, in light, and it will be an ecstasy of thinking which will produce enduring things. That work which is created in ecstasy of inner thinking can alone endure. To think in light is not a new power being developed by evolving man. It is a power which is now within him, awaiting only his knowledge of the use of that power. It is merely the recognition by man of his absolute control of the many dimensions of the universal constant of energy, which constitutes the thinking process of mind, exactly as he can control the changing speeds of his motor car. When man can change the low speed of his objective thinking in this universe of dimension to the high speed of his inner thinking, where dimension disappears in light, then is he Superman. Then is he universal genius. Light is the universal language in which the divine concept is plainly written. Fundamentally wrong in its basic premises and wasteful in its practice, man's modern concept of the universe must be torn down and built again on truth as plainly told in light. Primitive in his concepts, man divides the universe into the seen and the unseen, then finds himself groping in the dark, blindfolded, hopelessly trying to find the way to the door of the Holy of Holies. There is no unseen universe. The way to that innermost sanctuary of the Most High is as clearly posted as the Lincoln Highway. But man has not been able to read the plainly worded messages written all along the way in light. Man's most wonderful of instruments, the spectroscope, has told him little, for he has not yet learned to read it. He does not know that those many lines of light are but letters of the alphabet of light, in which the Universal One registers his mighty thinking in the universal language of light. The spectrum of iron is to man naught but the spectrum of iron. To the cosmic import of those many glowing lines, he is indeed blind. Again, in helium, he reads the lines as helium's lines, and sees not in them the plain story simply told of 6 new elements of vast import awaiting man's use in the easing of his burden. And of those most important of the elements, which man calls the inert gases, nothing at all is known except that they will not combine with any other elements. Oh, the pity of it! Wrong concepts of the atom's structure and the modern electric theory, of energy and its transmission, of conductivity, radiation, and gravitation, and of that electrochemical state of opposed motion called luminosity. All of these wrong concepts of motion and of matter must be remolded on truth. With truth comes knowledge, and with knowledge power to transmute at will and simply plentiful substances of matter into those which are the rarest to meet the needs of man. There is no substance which nature produces which man cannot produce or synthesize or create from apparent nothingness, when he knows that which is herein written down and charted. Man's miracles of today become commonplace events of tomorrow. Civilizations come and go, exalted by man's thinking or by it plunged into the abyss of darkened ages. This message is for all mankind and not for the few, for it is placing within his hands a power which could either glorify or frightfully enslave him in accord with the usage of that power. Either way, it matters not, for in the end, truth will survive, and man will complete his destiny. Truth lives. There is naught but truth, and that which appears to be otherwise has no existence, and therefore is not, nor ever will be. Walter Russell. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was nothing made which was made. John 1:1. Creation, divine mind, God, spirit, creation, and the order of creation. In the beginning, God. There is but one God. There is but one universe. God is the universe. God is not one, and the universe another. The universe is not a separate creation of God's. It is God. There is no created universe. Nothing is which has not always been. All created things are from the beginning. They have no beginning. They do not come into being. They are and always have been and always will be. Creation means to man the coming into existence of something which was not before in existence. Man's concept of creation is the coming into being of a physical, visible universe, heretofore non-existent. The Creator is to man's mind a sublime being, separate and apart from man, who created the physical universe of matter, causing to come into being that which had not been. Man holds the concept of 2 universes, a spiritual and a physical. God is presumed to be of the spiritual universe, perfect. Matter is of the physical universe, imperfect. God supposedly created the imperfect physical universe separate and apart from himself. Man conceives a perfect and omnipotent God. A perfect and omnipotent God could not create imperfection. He could not create a lesser than himself. He could not create a greater than himself. God could not create other than himself. God did not create other than himself, nor greater nor lesser than himself. In the sense generally understood by man, God did not create anything. Nothing has been created. This is a creating universe, not a created one. Man's concept of the sublime being as the creator of a material universe different in substance from the spiritual universe is a misconcept. God is all there is. Beyond God, there is nothing. Superior to God, there is nothing. Inferior to God, there is nothing. Opposed to God, there is nothing. Creation is not more, nor is it less than it has always been from the beginning. It cannot be more than God, nor can it be less than God. Creation is an apparent integration and continuity of that which already exists in substance. It is a periodic change of state of the one unchanging substance. It is evolution. Decreation is an apparent disintegration in continuity of apparently integrated things, returned to the substance. It is dissolution. God is in reality and exists in substance. God is thinking mind. The substance or body of God is light. The one universal substance, which is God, is a tangible substance, a thinking substance, comprehensible and describable and possessed of principles which are familiar to man through man's observation of the one universal substance in created things. The substance of all created things is light. The one substance of thinking mind is all that exists. The created universe is the registration in matter of the idea of thinking mind. Mind is expressed in light. Light is the storehouse of the energy of thinking mind. The energy of the universe is the energy of thinking mind. The universe is a universe of energy. Energy is expressed in light. Mind is the universe. Mind, substance, is spiritual substance. Spirit is light. Spirit is the ultimate, the eternal, though finite substance. Spirit is not infinite. Nothing in this universe of motion is infinite. Man's concept of an infinite God possessing infinite knowledge and infinite power, creator of an infinite universe of infinite extension, is not in accord with the laws of motion. This is a boundless, eternal, dimensionless universe of definite limitations, both as to all cause and to all effects of cause. Dimension is an illusion of relation of effects, which are in themselves but illusions. All cause is comprehensible to, and all effects are measurable by man. A limited, measurable universe cannot be infinite, and a divinity limited as to his range of cause, which, ipso facto, limits the possible range of effect, cannot be infinite. Light is the living substance of mind in action. It is the creating principle of the one substance. The one substance is the etheric, spiritual substance of the one universal mind. The entire created universe of all that is, ever has been, or ever will be, is but the one substance in motion, light. God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. John 1:5. Matter is light. God and matter are one. Spirit and matter are the same substance. That substance is light. There are not two substances in the universe. There cannot be two substances in the universe. The substance of the universal mind is a living substance. That which man calls life is an inherent property of the entirety of mind. Light is life. There is but one life in the universe. The whole of the universe is but one living, breathing, pulsing being. There are not two lives or two living beings in the universe. There are not two of anything in the universe. The universe and all that is one.